G'day everyone, Nick here. I'm here to talk to you today about a topic that I find particularly interesting, and that topic is cards that are currently available that are good, but could become a lot better given future releases. So, in this video I've chosen 6 cards, one from each of the 6 alignments, so red villain, blue villain, yellow villain, red hero, yellow hero, blue hero, and I'm going to talk about them in regards to what would make them go from just being okay cards, or good cards even, to being excellent cards. Alright, so first up, Awakenings card number 70. It's a red villain card. It is Endless Rank. This is a 5-cost card that brings back a defeated red non-unique character. And that's already pretty okay. Its downsides are that it costs 5, which is pricey, and the only non-unique red character right now is the First Order Stormtrooper, who, in my eyes, isn't really worth bringing back anyway. The Death Trooper that's coming out in Spirit of Rebellion looks like he could be worth bringing back. But again, I say 5 cost is a bit too expensive. So, what I'd like to see for this card is some better non-unique red villains, and some easier ways for them to get resources to make it worth playing. Next on my list is Awakenings number 87. It's a blue villain card called Pull the Strings. Now this has 0 cost to play, and it looks at the top 3 cards of either deck and then it puts them either on the top or bottom of the deck. Now I think this is a pretty decent card, or rather it would be if blue villains had more access to card draw. Somehow they put this card as a blue villain card, even though Hero Blue is the one with a lot of card draw. It's the one with Luke, it's the one with Jedi Council, it's the one with access to hero cards like Don't Get Cocky. So I'm not quite sure why this card ended up in villains when they don't have card draw outside of Boundless Ambitions, in which case you're going to be drawing a lot of cards anyway. So what I would like to see for this card is I'd like to see blue villain get a few more things that work with manipulation of the top card of your deck. Next, Awakenings 100, My Kind of Scum, is a yellow card. This is a support that, as you probably know, when you disrupt your opponent, you get to gain that same amount of resources. Now this is already fairly strong, but it's brought down by the fact that your opponent can see it coming. So if you've got that disrupt side on the board, and they know that's going to happen, they can easily spend their resources, making both this support and your disrupt side useless. What would make this card a whole lot better is a few more ambush disruptions. So maybe a card that is ambush, turn one of your dice to a disrupt face, or more cards like All In, which let you use it. Basically, you need things that can put disrupts on your table quickly and use them without your opponent activating anything to use their resources. Getting into the hero cards now with number 107, It's a Trap, a 1-cost ambush that turns any of your red dice to a side showing on an opponent's die. This card is already pretty damn strong because the meta right now is full of guns, and red hero is full of guns as well. It means that you can have all of your red dice in and go, it's a trap, to turn all of your dice to guns and then shoot out one of their characters. You can often get between 8 and 12 damage this way. My problem with the card is that it really doesn't work if your opponent's not really running guns. So they could be running sword attacks, melee damage, they could be running specials, and while yes, you can get some specials out of the rifle and villain red gun, I don't remember the names of those, I never do, you're not getting a whole lot of use outside of just range damage. So I would like to see, to make It's a Trap a lot better, and I think it deserves to be, being that it's one of those meme lines from Star Wars. It should be a very good card. I need to see a few more red heroes that do more versatile things than just shoot things. More specials would be nice. A few melee damage cards would be pretty cool as well. Hell, even more resources or disrupt would be nice. It's just the only thing that red has right now that you can find across most of its dice is range damage, and I think that needs to improve. Awakenings number 125, The Force is Strong, is a support that costs 1. And what it does is it lets you discard 2 copies of the same blue card to play one of them for free. Now this is fairly strong. It essentially gives Blue Hero a version of Holocron, with the downside that you have to have 2 copies of the card in your hand and you have to discard one of them forever. And right now there's only the one battlefield that can get upgrades from the discard pile. What would make this card a lot stronger, and I think we're already seeing a push towards it, is more card draw and hand sculpting. So what I mean is more things that allow you to draw extra cards and then change the cards in your hands for ones that you want, so that you can assure yourself of always having the second copy to discard both to play one for free. This would accelerate Hero Blue a lot. I think it might actually put them on par with Villain Blue. If you've seen or talked to me, I've said a few times that Blue Villain has such an advantage over Blue Hero just in its holocron alone. I'm really hoping that Blue Hero gets something to fix this up. Finally, the yellow card for Hero was very hard to actually figure out because Yellow Hero has a lot of really good cards, but I finally settled on number 136, which is Street Informants. It's 0 cost ambush support that lets you look at your opponent's hand as an action. I think this card could be 1,000 times better if there was a little bit more in not just Yellow Hero, but Hero in general, that worked around knowing what your opponent has in their hand. So maybe a few cards that say, name a card your opponent cannot play that card this turn, or name a card your opponent discards all copies of that card from their hand. Just something like that. Right now it's good enough for knowing what can happen in a turn, but knowing what can happen in a turn and being able to alter it is an entirely different deal. So I just think there need to be a few more yellow or hero cards in general that let you work with the information that you get from Street Informants. Aside from that, Street Informants is pretty solid as well. So those are 6 Star Wars Destiny Awakening cards that I think are okay and could improve to being awesome if Fantasy Flight decides to create more cards that will help them out. I really hope they do. Every new card is a potential to open up better deck building, and that's always an important thing in a card game. I've been Nick, and I'll see you next time. Bye!